A 48-year-old married woman called police on the husband this morning for making love to her against her wish. Listen. A 48-year-old married woman called police on her husband this morning for making love to her against her wish. Oh my God, I've never had this in my life before. Anyway, relax and let me gist you. According to the woman, she came back from an all-night shift. She was very tired. The man wanted to make love to her early this morning. The woman said no, that she's very tired, she cannot do anything. The Africanness in the man was telling the woman that he is the husband, that he can make love to her anytime. The woman said no, that you cannot make love to me. I came back from an all-night shift. I cannot do anything. You know, they were arguing before you know it. The nightwear she was putting on, you know, the women after shower, the way they put on their clothes, the man pulled that clothes and made love to the wife against her wish. Do you know what the woman did? The woman just picked her call and called 911. Immediately, police came this morning. Now, the man thought it's an African thing. Police asked him a very, very powerful three questions. Did she allow you to make love to her with her consent? The man said no. Did she tell you that she wasn't in the mood to do anything? The man said yes. Then the last one, did you forcefully, that is the language, did you forcefully remove her clothes and made love to her? The man said yes. The man was like, but this is my wife, I can do anything. The police said no. You have crossed her boundary, and that was how he was arrested this morning. When I saw this, I was so shocked. I've never had in my life before that married women can call police on their husband based on making love to them against their wish. I think people need to be very careful because each day things keep evolving. If your wife or your girlfriend says she's not in the mood, do not engage those abroad.
The way he's shouting just shows how the average man out there does not believe that a woman is entitled to have control over her body or who has access to her body, more especially if she's married. And now, let's talk about the language that they're using. He said a man wanted to make love to his wife. They just call it love making to make it sound as if the man is making love to her. Do you force somebody to make love to them? Come here, I must show you love. I must show you love. Come here, you deserve love. No. There are people that even have, maybe let's say they have some medical conditions and they will say do not resuscitate. So if you see them and they faint or something, you don't have any right to touch them and help them, maybe perform CPR and all that. In the same way, every woman has a right. It doesn't matter whether she's married or not. Now, still talking about this analogy of love making. If she says no, it is no more lovemaking. It is rape. If she says no and you are calling it intimacy, it is not intimacy because you are accessing the intimate parts of herself without her consent. It is rape. Still talking about that vocabulary that they are using, lovemaking. A man is trying to forcefully make love to his wife. If an intruder comes into the house and forces himself on a woman, do you still call it lovemaking? At that time, that's when you will call it rape. So what is it that makes it different when a man comes and forces himself? Then suddenly the language changes. Oh, he's making love to her. Is it by force to receive love? And the fact that they call it love making by force, like once you are married, they'll just put a stamp, bam. Anything the man does to you in the bedroom, you have to accept it as love making. Whether it is something you're comfortable with or not, whether you're feeling like you're dying or not, whether you just had a surgery or not, whether you just had a baby and you're recovering or not, it is love making. Number one, because they've paid your bride price. So they've paid for you. Even if it's one naira that they paid in 1471, the fact that you're still alive in 2026 means that that money still covers. It's like, basically call it sex trafficking, right? Even if somebody goes to go and hire a sex worker, that single day that you met that sex worker, you spend that night with that person and that's it. Next time you come, you will pay. But that one kobo that they paid in 1492, they still come in 2006 and be milking it. Even if after the woman has given all her unpaid labor, after she has given her body, after she has lost herself, having 100 babies and giving up her career, they will still be saying, I paid her bride price, I must make love. It's no more love, my dear. It's not love. Let's call a spade for once. And now, to make matters worse, in this scenario, this woman worked an all-night shift. And it doesn't mean that during the day when she was home, that she just folded her hands and said, oh, I'm going to work all night shift. I'm not going to cook. I'm not going to clean. I'm not going to take care of the children if there are children. This person is 48 years old. Her body is no longer the fresh body that it used to be. The age takes a toll on somebody. Do you think that an average person that is 48 years wants to be out there still working, doing all night shift? But she finishes that and she just drags herself home. And she knows that she'll probably come back, sleep for a little bit, and all the chores are still waiting for her. But unfortunately, there is a Shylock hiding inside the safety of her bedroom to drag her and forcefully rip her clothes off her and force himself on her in the name of lovemaking. What kind of entitlement is this? And now let's even talk about the advice he's giving. He said, for the men abroad, you should not engage if a woman says no. Why is it only for the men abroad? Of course, because abroad, most of the times there is consequences if a woman takes action and says, look at what this person did to me. So what it means, if you are giving this advice to only those abroad, how about those at home? that are still perpetuating this. Of course, we know that the police will generally not even do anything. They'll say, it's a family matter. We don't want to get involved. So those at home can go ahead. It's your right. Let's talk about these things. And they'll say men are protectors. A woman will be so scared. You enter inside car, you're coming back from your workplace at night. Let's say she's driving. She comes out into the parking lot. She looks left and looks right, rushes into the car. Immediately she goes in. She will lock the door. She will check very well. And then she will drive. When she gets home, she parks on the driveway. She will look left, look right. Oh, there's no intruder. She will open the door, look quickly, jump in, lock the door. She's like, I'm home. And then she goes to the safety of her bedroom. But there is the abuser. And there's statistics out there that shows that most women that go through a manner of abuse, rape, and all that, it is their significant other or is a male in their family. So there's no safe place for a woman. For those that will say, if you go out there, it's because you were outside. That's why somebody harassed you. It's because you were here. This woman was in the safety of her home with a man that said he is a protector. A man that made a vow that he's going to look out for her. But somehow he feels entitled to her body, just like an average molester out there will feel entitled to a woman's body by grabbing her and doing whatever to her. Make it make sense. And now in this whole analogy that he's making, the terrible thing at this point is not that the man forced himself on her. The terrible thing is that the woman had enough self-dignity to say, I don't care what anybody's going to say. I'm going to speak up for myself. That's the terrible thing. Can you imagine? How dare you call police? And the second terrible thing in all the analogy that he gave is that the police actually saw a reason to prosecute the man or take the man in for hurting his wife. Those are the two terrible things. And this is why he's saying, in this part of the world, though, there's consequence. Don't do this. But in a place where there's no consequence, are you now implying that they should go ahead? So my dear ladies, if you're a woman and you are living abroad, take time to learn your rights. The sad thing is that a lot of us women are raised to normalize abuse. And so even if you come into a society that works to an extent where your rights can be upheld, you'll still be afraid of speaking up for yourself because everybody from your background might end up judging you for choosing yourself. There are still women that are living in the West that are enduring all manner of abuse just for the sake of peace. Sometimes they think it's normal. And even for those that know it's not normal, they are still afraid of what people will say. One advice I have for you is don't dull your eyes. Once you come abroad, you've come to a land of opportunities. Do everything you can to gain your independence. Because the truth is, most of the times when you come from maybe Africa and some of those other continents, you come to the West. A lot of times your qualifications, even if you had university education and all those things, you will need to brush it up. Start doing whatever you can to gain a qualification that you can use to start earning income. Even if you don't have the financial means, you can find something online, whether it's free or whether it's something you're going to pay for over time. Find something and start working towards getting those certifications that you can use to pursue financial empowerment. Because over time, the more financially capable you are, then the easier it is for you when you now decide and say, I'm not doing this anymore. The easier it will be for you to leave. So this woman in this scenario, you can see she has a job. So to some extent, she has financial capability. So even if they end up taking the man away, she's not going to end up all by herself struggling. So a lot of women that stay and endure these things is because they've left where they were back home, where they probably had some measure of independence. They come here, you don't have any skills, any talents, no experience, to go into the labor force out here in the West, right? And then so they keep enduring. So the thing is, if you are financially stable as a woman, it makes it somewhat more easier for you to be able to exit when that time comes and you say, I cannot handle this anymore. So in summary, if you're waiting for a wicked person to change or to have a change of heart, you might end up waiting for all your life. Wicked people don't understand anything except consequences. So if you're there praying for them and fasting for them and crying and hoping that they will change, they may not change.